blank.
I've seen him laugh. I haven't seen him just, casually wear a smile while playing. He's focus face, I understand it.
Well, away we go. Game on in this best of 2. If you're just joining us, it's DreamLeague Season 24, the last day of Group Stage 1, where Falcons have already guaranteed themselves that progression forward, and Azure looking for every victory they can from the next 4 games, just to stay alive in the tournament.
Oh, I see. He didn't go for the... Interesting. He went for a shock collar instead of static slide. He changed it last minute here. So he's going to go for the hitting yourself effect. This could mess with Monkey King a little bit, because he might think he's like one hit off Jingu and then attack and insta-stun, but he won't get Jingu because he will be hitting himself.
Huh.
So it's an interesting idea. We don't see shock collar that often, but it does have some fun interactions.
I don't think I've ever seen it in a game I've cast. It's always been the static slide.
It's never been when I've been casting either, but I've seen clips of like Nyx assassins hitting themselves with Vendetta. That is really fun to watch.
Really? Oh
yes.
My god.
Yeah, you can do some nasty stuff with shock collar. It does allow you to trigger them. Also triggers a overload charge on the hit.
Well, Skitter's going for that top rune defense with his concoction. Make sure they get the 2 for 2.
Yeah. Also nice mention is that Enchantress and Storm both smoked out and both bought boots of speed and then sold the boots of speed to get out to place the ward as soon as possible. So their mid vision was dropped really quickly.
Now you've got my mind racing on the heroes that would be hurt most by this shock collar. Like Earthshaker Enchant Totem. You said the Nyx Vendetta.
Yeah, Earthshaker would be pretty painful.
Tiny?
I don't think you can proc like crit, so PA shouldn't be... I don't think you can crit yourself.
Oh, okay.
But like on-hit effects, I guess, still work. It's very weird. I haven't seen the interactions too much. Not a very fun facet.
Already at 4-0, so Storm starting off well. Skitter already throwing a few concoctions up at top. Only one last hit for him, and the third lane, Crit and Amar already off to a great start with first blood out of the shards.
Yeah, getting a kill quickly, and this is the danger going up against the Razor plus the Tusk lane. You get trapped by ice shards and you just get beat down.
I drink your milkshake.
Mostly just trading hits for a long time with the Tusk there and staying a little bit too close, it seems.
I drink your milkshake. I always forget about that one.
It's a movie reference, right? But I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like Twister or some like hurricane movie or something like that. There will be blood.
Thank you, production.
Apparently.
Yes.
Script knows exactly what the references are.
I heard it's a really good movie. I just haven't checked it out. I'll have to do it just because of all this drink milkshake spam always coming out from Amor.
Well, he's off to a great start. We've got ourselves all reconnected as well. And Pichu going to return to that bottom lane. Han in the mid lane. Currently a couple last hits behind the Storm. I think should pick up for him once he gets a few levels. Starts applying that pressure to him. Already spamming out the Boundless Strike. Did he already slip up here? Only got 3 hits out of the Jingu there, trying to get the...
Yeah, it wasn't the Overload, or it wasn't the Vortex though. It was the Overload slowing his attack. He canceled his attack animations. So far, Malrine doing a great job getting a good start on this otherwise difficult matchup.
And there we go. Gets his Jingu up. So at least he can get some denies going in that mid lane. There's a non-stop noise and action down bottom. Constant Fiery Spirit spam, static link going. A lot of damage onto that Shadow Fiend to force him back, and a lot of work for this Phoenix to do. This feels like such a strong lane for Falcons, and I don't want to call it a weak lane, but like in comparison, the Shadow Fiend and Phoenix need way more levels to accomplish what the Razor and Tusk are doing at level 1.
It does. It's also about knowing your limits. Look at Amar again going in for the SF here.
Yeah, straight onto low. Crit and Amar, they've got him taken down here, even through the stick charges. Amar might be dying, but he pops his own little stick and forces the Phoenix to dive away. Oh, he's taking...
Actually, it's gonna live. I think he would have wanted to die there because he didn't use the tango until the ticks were over, and then he's like, really? I have to live? And then he used the tango. He kind of wanted full HP reset.
Yeah, definitely a rough bottom lane. He's just trapped in the shards, blocked by the creeps. Not much you can do.
This is just comfort on the hero as well. Going up against the Mars Razor, you always know that he sees every kill potential there is for a Razor. He's played this hero so damn much.
On top lane, Bristleback, 10 last hits. Alchemist at 14. Looks like Skitter well protected by snaking. Not really too bothered by this Bristleback and Enchantress just yet. But it's also a situation where Bristleback isn't being pummeled into the ground and turned into pulp. Having a decent lane, always a good sign for him to actually go back and farm stacks to accelerate rather than to catch up.
Yeah, there's no Viper in this game as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Dropping a bit low. But then, of course, Jingu gets all that HP back with one Boundless.
Malrine.
Boots as well, Monkey King, so Storm has to be cautious, but doing great so far. This matchup is generally considered a counter pick, and Storm not falling behind.
Yeah, doing pretty well. I mean, Malrine's got boots of his own. Try and get away from the monkey, but does lose out on both of the water runes.
Shadow Fiend in trouble.
Yet again, you're right. Lo and Pichu having some serious difficulties down here. Annihilated by Amar and Crit yet again. No matter how many blood grenades or fiery spirits you throw at these boys, they stay alive.
Yeah, another salve gonna be used. Razor just building up his HP again. This lane is a complete disaster. This was a first phase SF pick, and it's not working out. 9 last hits, no deny.
No, he's being absolutely suffocated by this Falcons off lane.
I feel like a lot of it is due to the weakness of the pairing of heroes, though. SF usually wants a melee hero that is tanky in front of him. And Phoenix can be a very good laner, but the two of them have not really been able to do much to a Razor Tusk.
Well, yeah, we kind of touched that in the draft, right? Where, if I remember correctly, the Clockwork was banned and the Tusk was still there. And the Tusk kind of got through to the middle of the draft. And it was a conscious decision for Azure Ray to go for this double range hero, because it was an early hoodwink, and then the Phoenix followed it.
Yeah. It's
So it seems like that's what they wanted, but it's not working out for them.
not what we usually see. We even see a random wolf just coming in and attacking here. Enchantress lining up some ganks towards bottom.
Yeah, through the twin gate, throwing the hoodwink down here as well. I've got a bit of vision there to spot snaking heading west. Planet and Pichu both chasing the Enchantress. But how many times do we see this? Just an Enchantress drawing the attention of multiple heroes and like not dying. They've got no more stuns. They used the bushwhack, so that's done. And in mid lane, Crit making a play towards Han. Looks like they're going to give up on the chase under tier 1.
Yeah, the Golem is just going to smack Han a little bit here, but we see all the supports moving over. 6-minute rune. Top being controlled by Dire. Actually, bottom too. Crit is going to get the shield rune for himself.
And Monkey King trying to drag that catapult under tower. Slow down what could have been a push from Falcons. Bounty runes are up, and Falcons going to get both of them at minute 6. 2k lead, 4-0. It's just building and building. We've seen Falcons, build from shoddy, muddy, swampy foundations into some grand palace of destruction. When they're ahead, how do you stop them?
That's the question on everyone's mind. They're generally a very, very dominant force in the early game, and that has been the difficult thing to deal with when facing this team. That's why Falcons are where they are. I think you just have to be very good at making quick, decisive moves, and that's what Monkey King could provide. Has that ganking speed from Simeon Stride now. Looking towards top.
Trying to jump in onto snaking here. Nature's attendants are going, though. Snaking against the Boundless and the Quill Spray. Not able to stand and live much longer, but Malrine is here to trade out the life of the Enchantress for the Bristleback.
Yeah, 1-for-1 in the end. Happy with that. And of course, Storm being involved in kills, getting a bit more galvanized in that region.
Crit and Planet both getting their wisdom runes respectively, looks like. No sneaky steals. And Crit straight back down into action in that bottom lane, where they have successfully booted the Shadow Fiend out of lane and into jungle.
Oh, Phoenix might be in danger. The TP's coming through the gate here. Malrine as well as snaking.
Yeah, he's got to dive. Let's see how far that can get him.
He's using his vision to his advantage. He saw them come, so he just walks around.
Well, they saw him now. The Dire Observer Ward right in place. Oh, Phoenix able to flap his wings and get to safety, though. Not sure the same can be said for his tower in a couple of moments.
Yeah, tower is looking a little bit worse for wear as the push is coming in.
Takes the Watcher back. He's going to get blocked up and hit by this Mud Golem. A dive down to the south. Looks like... Wait. Low? Oh, man.
He just died to neutrals.
He just died to a Warpine Raider. He
just got auto-attacked to death.
And a Hellbear.
By a creep? Gareth.
I don't know what to say to that. That was bad.
Yeah,
we didn't see it.
Yeah. He didn't expect the Rabble Rouser damage, perhaps. Miscalculating the damage due to Enchantress. The extra damage? Is that it?
Just absolutely got destroyed.
There's a 22% damage increase on the neutrals, so I think he just actually fell to that.
Enchantress, what a hero. Rabble Rouser.
I've never seen someone die to Rabble Rouser from a big camp like that. To Ancients, I've seen it happen, but he got Rabble Roused.
Yeah. I mean, we saw XXS die to Tormentor. That's one thing, but dying to a Warpine Raider. I mean, yeah. Put that out of your thoughts and memories right now, Shadowfiend. You've had a bad lane, a bad moment. It's time to recover.
I mean, dying to a Tormentor is like throwing insults to a guy in the mirror. You know, it's like yeah, you did lose it, but was it the Tormentor?
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. I don't know, man. Shadowfiend is very sad this game. Bristleback, though, he's building up, farming stacks. Most farmed hero on the Radiant side. But the big looming problem right now is that Alchemist is sitting pretty close to 7,500 net worth, minute 10. His Radiant's timing is going to be pretty freaking fast here.
It's again going to be the fastest one we've seen. The last one, I said that too, but this is even quicker, Gareth. It's speeding up. The players are evolving.
I can't believe it. What is it, minute 11? Just before? Minute 11, maybe?
Yeah, this is going to be a 10-something. He's getting it at 10-20. Oh, even a Kobold camp. Fantastic.
Look at that.
Get some of that. Get the money.
The perfect camp. Build up bank.
That is a very respectable 10-25, 26. Right. Yeah.
So you've lost lane against the Razor. Razor's very farmed and very difficult to deal with.
Yep.
Alchemist is overfarmed. Whose job is it to recover this game?
Oh, it's the supports and Monkey King that need to make moves together, but they don't have level 6 yet. It's minute 10, almost 11, and neither of the supports on Radiant have level 6. Meanwhile, both the supports on Dire have their level 6, so the power spike is not there yet. They're trying to finish it up, but Phoenix is a long way away. Needs a full level.
Yeah, we need Supernova. We need Sharpshooter. And again, you said in the draft, these Bushwhacks have got to be on point, because that's their only starting stun.
Don't miss the tree, buddy.
Well, there, Radiance gets delivered. 11 minutes in. A long flight to the courier finally arrives onto Skitter. Well, in the mid lane, Han thinking about the Wukongs to protect himself, but didn't need to use it.
Yeah.
Marine and Crit just poking at him.
Marine feeling very safe here as well, as you mentioned, the Bushwhack being one of the only stuns along with the Boundless Strike. So very difficult to bring down the Storm, allowing him to play this aggressively on lane. But yeah, pretty chill farm time for Falcon. They're doing what we usually see Falcons do. They're farming, and Razor is currently building a lot of gold with the Falcon Blade and Voidstone. A ton of mana regen in this build from Amar, so they can keep spamming the plasma field.
I just play the map continually. Do we ever, or do we often see this Falcon Blade on Shadowfiend? I feel like it's just...
It's usually Mask of Madness. This Falcon Blade is a laning item.
Old Marine. Ooh, there we go. Nice snipe there, thanks to Planet and Han getting a catch on the Storm.
That Haste Rune bailing out crit almost went the way of Mew. Could have been 2 kills perhaps if he got it. Yeah, they get a very important takedown killing the Storm. But no, to touch back on what you said, the Falcon Blade is more of a laning item. He did change his mind and went back for the Mask of Madness. So I'm glad to see they didn't complete the Falcon Blade.
Okay, so he just has the 2 most efficient components from it.
Yeah.
A Snake comes and steals the Shadowfiend's farm. Oh, he might be paying for it though. Snaking inside the Wukongs. Boundless and the Primal Spring catching up to the little Bambi to finish her off. So a good couple of moments here from Azure Ray getting a kill on the Storm, the Enchantress, and most importantly, just relinquishing pressure or relieving pressure from the Shadow Fiend.
13-minute blink radiance coming in, though. Skeeter is here to punish somebody.
Oh, there's an Alk in this game.
So there is.
That's what Planet's thinking right now. Is like, where did he come from?
Yeah, I don't think that they're ready to deal with this. They barely had a level 6 on the supports, and the Alchemist is already looking enormous.
11,000 net worth.
I mean, it's a disturbing level farm.
Yeah, you add the Monkey and the Shadow Fiend together. That's the Alchemist.
Yeah, that's him.
Easy tier 1.
Boy. He has no intention of staying longer, just comes in, adds a little bit of strength so they can take down that tower and back to farming.
Yeah, straight back up top, defend against New's little push.
Ooh.
As your Ray, though, they are moving up here, trying to swarm into this Alchemist area.
I'm not a fan of what New is doing, by the way. He's not going for the Aghanim Scepter build on Bristol. This is a different build altogether. He is the Snot Rocket build. So he's not going for the Seeing Red Facet, which is the more common. And he's not going Aghanims, which is more common.
They're on the Alk. They've got some good damage. Skitter, Chemical Rage, and the Wand. No.
The Radiance.
No. Oh my goodness.
They got a miss on the auto attack there. 2 misses even.
That's really unfortunate. And now they're going to lose both supports.
So close to getting a massive payday, but instead they're just going to lose their lives, lose the pressure they had up top.
Where's Skitter's player cam?
Let's see this. Let's see the attacks from Monkey.
That was a big hit. Another big hit.
And
the
that
miss.
one missed.
The miss.
That was a
And the
Jingu attack
regen.
that would have killed him.
Oh.
I guess he wasn't actually that lucky with the evasions. Radiance plus the evasion on it.
And, yeah, they've killed the Shadow Fiend in that bottom jungle as we return to live.
The Shadow
Skitter
Fiend,
goes from nearly dying to killing off his counterpart.
that range creep kind of thing. Yeah. SF is not having a good time.
But they can kill an Enchantress, though, can't they? Can't they?
Really?
Thank God for that.
Yeah, at least they can bring her down. She doesn't have a shard or anything to jump away right now. We saw Falcon try and react, but not going to be able to pick up a kill.
Can you
Well.
still do that, by the way? Can you still Chemical Rage the concoction off?
I think you can. I've seen someone do it pretty recently, I think.
Okay. Because it used to be, like, very common. And I feel like
Yeah.
I've not seen it in a while.
Yeah, I think it's still possible, but I'm not sure.
You can Manta dodge it for sure.
Yeah. Manta works against most things. Very few things are not dodgeable.
Well, Azure Ray looks like all they've got left on their docket of things to do for the day is gather up as 5 and play together. They've got Supernova, they've got Requiem, they've got a couple of items. They know they're behind, and pretty much the only way to get back into this is to find a moment to fight around an objective.
Yeah, get some kills and an objective is the ideal situation, but at least taking down the tower is a good start. They're actually going straight towards Roche.
They can't do this, can they?
With the Snot Rocket and the Presence, they could, and Falcons know this, so Falcons are heading over as well. They want to contest this.
Falcons are coming. The dire scan, they know what's happening.
Oh,
That's
the creep.
about-
Look at the Centaur. He's going to ruin the day for them. Oh, no.
Oh,
That one
he's
Centaur.
Going in to scout and stun. Say hello. Stuns them up, and in comes Crit. They've got the Sun Ray onto this Tusk, but Skitter's arrived. Requiem being wound up by Low to fear them back, but Malrine zipped in. Vortex there to catch the SF and kill him off. Roshan still barely alive. Supernova there with the Bristleback to try and take it down, and Han with the Wukong's command. They snatch the Aegis on the Bristleback as Snaking, he's dropping low, and so's Amar, but they've stepped out of the Wukong's command. A bit of distance here for Falcons, as it looks like Azure Ray, they've got the damage to bring down the Razor. 3 kills for the Chinese team as Han is still running forward and looking for Malrine. Maybe they can jump with a Boundless Strike and a bit more damage. They've got the double kill. New finds the finishing touch and a massive fight for Azure Ray.
Yeah, that Monkey ulti paired up with the Snot Rocket actually did so much damage. The Bristleback applying all that minus armor to people, and then Monkey ulti just laying in the damage. It looked like a good start to the fight, but I think SF got into the fog of war for a little bit as Alchemist jumped in here. When he gets a little bit up into that spot right there and channels his ulti, he couldn't get stunned.
The turn looked pretty good to kill off that SF, but yeah, the supernova in the pit. Roshan so close to death, and then the scramble over the Aegis.
Yeah, the snatch on the Aegis was very clutch for them. If that went to Storm, that fight would have gone the other way around.
Oh, for sure. Because Bristleback picked it up literally like a second before he died.
Yeah, he was right on the verge of death.
Radiant are scanning.
A little comeback here for Azure Ray, showing Falcons that there are no pushovers.
It's crazy to me that they have that fight and they're still 7,000 gold behind.
Yeah.
Felt like they got so much. Of course, there's an Alchemist in the game, and not just any Alchemist. Skeeter is absolutely enormous here.
He just finished
BKB
off
complete.
Yeah.
For AC next.
He just finished the BKB and he's got 1,200 gold saved up. And we do find ourselves in that wonderfully awkward moment where Roshan's dead. The teams are like, well, you know, what is there to do? Tormentors, I guess. Go back for them.
Yeah. Snaking is still just farming around the top area. Azure Ray want to get rid of him here.
Such a nuisance. Yeah, I guess minute 21, Tormentors, Wisdom Runes might see Falcons in a couple of minutes go and play to that left side of the map. Well, they're already moving over there. Honestly, Pichu here caught out by the Alchemist and the Razor. Bit of burn damage. Try and hit at him, but the Phoenix makes his way to the high ground to TP, but the concoction's coming. They've got the stun.
He didn't stop on the high ground before he started TPing, and then he can't stop because that would cancel the TP, so he had to keep going forward. Skeeter finds the stun.
Snowball on the Monkey King. Han is already across the canopy, through the trees, and away he goes.
Planet is spotted.
Planet. Oh, Planet's coming here to try and save the monkey and make a play, but scouted and killed quickly.
Take him down, and they're going to start pushing towards top. Azure Ray have done a good job being out on the field, though. They're always doing something. I believe Bristol is working towards his Aghanim's not too far away. Only needs 400 gold.
So it's just a casual Sange for now?
Yeah, casual Sange. I thought he was going to go into full like SMY or do something else. He went for Sange into Shard and then finish Aghanim Scepter, and he's still going to have it at a pretty good timing. And it's not so concerning. I thought he was going to play without the Aghanims altogether, which is not a prospect that I think is good for any Bristle player.
No. Especially if you want to go and take Tormentor. But he's gonna have his team here with him. Yeah, with that not make
Does
short
not
work.
build this extra good at taking Tormentor, since you go up to 6 on the Viscous Goo and make it stronger.
That's a lot of minus armor.
Jump coming in, Alchemist.
What do they see? They see the Bristleback. Right on top of New. Sunray trying to keep him up, but New's down. Supernova Requiem and the Wukong's all used. They get the kill on Malrine. Skitter and Crit running back with a BKB on the Alchemist to dodge away from these ultis.
That Hyperstone Alchemist brought down the egg so very quickly. Thought he was gonna be fine, but nope. At least to get a kill on Malrine. They do sort of fight for their top part of the map, but they deny the Wisdom Rune. Sneaky snaking. Just being so annoying.
But yeah, I guess at least for Azure Ray, like you say, they defend this part of the map. They got their Tormentor. They have shown that their ultis are still freaking scary, I think is one of the big things as well. Like, Shadow Fiend is still a threat as long as the rest of his team have their ultis.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like the SF is getting pretty squishy and falling behind, though. With the BKB, yes, he's protected a little bit, but compared to the Alchemist and the Razor building up their farm, you're not ahead the way you want to be on SF. And you have to worry about this Alchemist timing. He's going to hit his Assault Cuirass in just 150 gold, and they're going to try and do something more with that. Razor going to go for a Tormentor take as well, just putting some minus armor first, waiting a little bit. They only go to minus 20 now, so you can't just sit there and wait forever. You do have to auto-attack.
Oh, then there's Malrine, who's had a pretty quiet game so far. That Storm pick was an interesting one at the end of the draft, and kind of stealing it away from their opponents, finding a good spot to be in. Going for this Kaya BKB build. 3-3-3 scoreline.
Yeah.
Not had
There's
the
both,
easiest of games.
There's both Gleipnir and Monkey, and there's Rotovatus on Hoodwink. Oh, plus
They've got a catch on the Tusk.
gotta kill both those items.
Into Gleipnir, into Atos, permanently rooted. Not even a chance to snowball there. Skidder wants in though. Shadowfiend with good reactions on that BKB, pops it as a concoction was landing. And now a bit of a turn from Azure Ray as they boundless into the Enchantress, chasing, snaking back towards the base. Malreen's in and then out again, and they'll force the Wukong's command on the doorstep of the Dire base here. Killing off the two Dire supports. Skidder, he's gone in with his BKB going, thinking about fighting into the Wukong's command, realizing that's not really the best option though.
Yeah, Storm completely out of mana, so difficult to keep going here. Wanted to take the fight. Razor felt strong, Alchemist felt strong, but with Storm not having any resources and both your supports dead, you choose to just back out.
These games are honestly incredible, where we go from a situation where the Shadowfiend is like 0-3, farming jungle minute 7, dies to neutral creeps. The Monkey King hasn't crushed the Storm in lane, but still, Azure Ray have found these moments where they team up, group together with the big team fight ultimates that they've got, finding little pickoffs that lead into bigger objectives. And I guess it comes down to, I think New made the call because he got tipped after the Roche take. But that swift movement into the Roche pit to force the fight around it has been such a momentum breaker for Falcons.
It really has been. Normally we would see Falcons just completely shut out their opponent, get all the tier 2s. They haven't taken a single tier 2 here. And Azure Ray putting up a very good fight. As for their item builds as well, I think we're getting closer to some of the key items. We have Hurricane Pike coming out for the SF in just a second. Gonna keep him a little bit safer. And looks like Bristleback wants to go for a BKB next.
Yeah, needs a bit more protection. Can't be getting stunned and hit by all this magic damage.
Storm went through the gate down to bottom, so I want to try and set up a gank on him. Hoodwink though TP's right in his vision. Storm says no and TP's out.
See ya. Well, that's a fast Roche spawn. Barely got to see the little golden timer. I think it was 2 seconds or something.
Yeah, it feels like it was just recently they died.
I think that's the fastest Roche spawn I've seen in a pro game. Pretty
must have
close
been.
to immediate.
And they're immediately reacting to it too. Just smoke up to top. They did see Roche go and set up to take it. That's a little bit unfortunate for Falcons. They didn't expect it to already be Roche time, but Azure Ray just more ready for it.
Yeah, a rude wake-up call for Falcons in a couple of seconds here. Incredible speed. Azure Ray coming back into this game now. There's still a 9k lead for Falcons, yes, but it feels like with this Aegis, that's going to diminish.
It's gonna diminish, and also this is when you want to get stuff done with Alchemist lineups. You really want to expand your advantage in the 25 to 30 minute mark. Later down the game, the later it goes, Alchemist does tend to fall off. Going to contest top push, running over there. Tower's falling so fast though, this SF just shreds it.
Yeah, there's no stopping that. You're gonna have to come in from behind. Crit's leading the charge here. Smoke breaks, vision given, high ground ward, sees the Shadow Fiend. No fast BKB this time, but a supernova in the backlines, focused quickly by Amar and Malreen. Aegis down, and a hand sent skywards with the Yules. Wukong's command not really zoning anyone away, and Low, he's had to BKB Requiem just to try and stay safe. He's just being demolished by the right-click physical raw power of Skitter, and Malreen comes in to secure the double kill. Now turning onto the Monkey. New is the last man standing here, trying to fight into them, but Snaking grabs the double. Falcons do not relinquish control over that part of the map, and even with Azure Ray having the Aegis, they just crumble.
For a second after the Aegis there, it looked like they might be able to fight back, but they lost too much immediately in that fight. The fact that Crit ran up, put a ward on the high ground, gave them the cliff vision, and they could have done the same on Falcons. They had a ward ready to drop, but instead of warding, they just ran away, bailed on the area, and suddenly you're all running away from your opponents. The egg was beat down immediately, and the fight became very difficult from there.
There's so many things where it's like, it starts to look good for Azure Ray. That's a good placement of this. That's a good use of that. Falcons just undoing everything.
Yeah, vision was the key to that fight though. The fact that Falcons had perfect information, dropping that observer ward at the start of the fight gave them such a nice initiation.
Crit and snaking even down here to guard Malrine. If anyone shows...
Might swing around a little bit when Monkey King gets his BKB though. For now, he's struggling to fight when all the spells come in, getting the storm on him. All the overload charges really slows down his attack speed so much. But if you can just have his BKB on Monkey, he could actually stand and fight.
Just getting Yulesed. Like he spent that entire fight stunned and Yulesed, watching his team die. And he comes down to the ground. He's like, "Oh, right, yeah, that's me, all alone."
Yeah, casual Yules from the Razor. Sort of a farming item, sort of a catch item. Prevents TP outs. Really makes it look like such a good starting item on Razor.
And then he can switch to scale through this man to BKB Butterfly. Knowing that the real damage output here from the Monkey King and the Shadow Fiend is going to be that physical right click.
Skeeter, not a worry in the world. Just blinks in, takes the tower. Tier 2 mid falls already. And continuously, Snaking has been sending his creeps just to the side lanes, poking in these side lanes. Trying to keep Azure Ray trapped in their base.
Hoodwink has the Aghanim Scepter now.
He does.
Not going for the full Gleipnir.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen so much Aghanim Scepter lately, but it's still a very, very useful tool for Hoodwink. Very low cooldown on it.
Oh, Malrine.
Oh, it caught the storm.
He tried to break the trees to find the Monkey King, but he's got to BKB and run now. I mean, a nice attempted move by Malrine, but it's going to end up here spending BKB. Skitter forced to Chemical Rage, and Falcons are not really a chance to fight anymore.
Good Hurricane Pike by Snaking, keeping Malrine safe. We see why Force Staff or her Hurricane Pike is so useful to have against these lockdowns, against the Gleipnirs. They actually have the double Force Staff as well. They have Hurricane Pike on him, and then they have Force Staff on the Tusk.
It looks like Malrine's pretty much got his Witchblade done. Even more damage coming. As Azure Ray still trying to break out of this rut. And that Aegis was meant to get them back into this game and diminish the lead the Falcons have. And they're looking at Amar now as a big kill to take. But he was quick with a Manta, the BKB, and he's just quick in general. 438 move speed, sprints away from the 5-man smoke.
Just say no and walk away. Big 5-man rotation, not really paying dividends there. Sure, you put a BKB on cooldown, but you spent so much time running there. And this is time that Alchemist and Storm are enjoying on the map, and Enchantress, as always, pushing in these lanes. Even top lane right now, look at her. There's a creep up there. I don't know how he gets his creeps all over the map. Sometimes there's this a creep on the complete opposite position of him. Skeeter?
Yeah, he's on high ground. He was. I knew he was going to come in here and snot on everyone. Bit of phlegm and nasty stuff in towards Crit, who's rooted up. Good amount of damage from Azure Ray to take down the Tusk, and moving on to Skitter's Alchemist now, but he's blinked out of danger. The chase is still on from Han. They see Snaking TPing home, but the lack of stuns very apparent right now, as Han is still giving chase onto Malrine's Storm. Amar's Razor. It looks like they're perfectly fine.
Yeah, Monkey King can keep chasing, but he doesn't really have his team with him. Not fast enough to keep pursuing the Storm like that. Looks like they might want the tier 1 tower bottom. Perhaps backing up now that the Tusk is respawning and Storm is getting full mana. Azure Ray very active across the map though. I like the way they contest Falcons at any chance they get. Skeeter pushing up high ground, immediately all of them react to it. Tormentor gets called here. Guess he knew, just go over and take it.
And Han has spent so much time this game just looking, hunting for anyone he can pick off and kill. Not sure if he got spotted there. Passing by a dire ward, might just have been on the outskirts of it. I was like the Falcons more concerned about catching the waves. Push this map in towards the Radiant base.
Yeah, as much as possible, always want to keep the lanes pushed in. preventing these aggressive moves coming out from Azure.
I mean, Amar is still looking, by the way.
Yeah, I think he's hunting for the monkey, but
This was over.
Han is pretty safe. He's got BKB in worst case scenario, but doesn't even need it.
And now they've seen the Razor down there. Might be a chance. Azure take control of their Ancients again, but Falcons have already backed up. Rod of Atos dodged by Malrine, not giving them a chance.
Yeah. And Roche may spawn in 30 seconds. Are we going to have a fast spawn again? Is it going to be even faster than last time?
I don't know if it's possible to be faster than last time.
Yeah, it was basically an instantaneous one. The thing about new here.
2 seconds before, maybe it could be 1. They are looking at new. Bristleback has his back turned. Bushwhack misses. Monkey King still on top of the trees here as Snaking starts unloading the impetus shots.
Oh no, Monkey stunned.
Shadowfiend. Oh god, yeah, Monkey's brought down from the canopy. Sliced in half. Dead for 70. Lowe's going to throw the Rec Room out to fear the back, but Skitters jumps back in to dodge it, starting up the SF. Hurricane Pike to push him back, another Force Staff to get a bit of distance. That's left New in a tough spot here, though, still being harassed and harried by the rest of Falcons as Crit has found an opening, somehow looping all the way in behind the Shadowfiend to find the catch and the snowball in a little bit deeper. By the tier 3, New will turn his back and kill the Tusk. Monkey can be brought back for this, though. Azure, they need to get something more. It's a lot of expenditure here as Han will get on top of Malrine. A big kill if they can take it, but in comes Skitter. The big bad Alchemist is here to clap down onto Han's Monkey King. Skitter gets the job done. Malrine will die, but my god, what a loss for Azure. Skitter might just be able to play back into New and Planet here. Supernova is used up by Pichu. Maybe enough to zone them back and kill off the Alk as he will finally drop a triple for New. A bit of a bounce back from Azure as he looks for a little bit more, but this Razor's so damn strong. Nearly kills the Bristleback.
He's out of mana.
And the Sharpshooter finally kills him off.
He couldn't use his Manta Style because he was too low mana. Had a Yule Scepter as well, but it's too long of a fight. And look at Snaking. He's trying to hit this little hoodwink, but damn, that's a lot of evasion coming in.
Absolutely mental
Wayfarer thing.
So it's four deaths on Falcons, 4 deaths on Azure, a dieback from the Monkey King.
Yeah, painful. Very painful for Monkey. That's going to sort of solidify his spot at the bottom of the course now in net worth. He did try for something big, but good reaction by Skeeter, just jumping onto him immediately. And here we see the start of the fight. Look at that zip from Storm, straight over the tree that he was on. That was an insane initiation.
This whole fight was insane.
Yeah, and then Crit just playing the sideline here. He's chasing, looking for a better target, has Blink and Force Staff, stays onto the SF.
It does make you wonder, you know, what if the Monkey King had bought back 10 seconds sooner? Immediately,
yeah.
Right?
Maybe you could have done something more while your teammates were still alive. Waited quite long to go back into the fight here.
Still solid for Azure and New, given the circumstances. Like the Bristleback, I think, picked up like 2,500 gold in that.
Yeah. Back in the game, we still don't have a Roche taken because he actually spawned one of the latest possible spawns. 247 was the clock.
Oh, really?
The Roche spawn, so they're still waiting for him. 10 seconds and then he's gonna appear. Skeeter's just waiting there. He's like, it has to spawn soon.
Put down the acid spray and everything.
Yeah, he's trying to summon him. A little rain dance.
Malrine's pinging. Trying to guess when he comes back up.
Wow, that is a shiny Roche. All the overload stacks from the shard of Storm Spirit.
And Azure not fast enough to come and contest this. Might still have a chance to fight after the Aegis is taken.
Storm has Aghanim Scepter consumed.
Oh, man. With Parasma. There's a lot he can do here.
He's recovered quite well now from the situation he was in earlier where he felt a little bit weak, but of course the gold injection of consuming a free Aghanims always gonna feel good.
And then we start to see Skitter handing out some Aghanim Scepters too. I think he's already got one to give over.
Oh yeah, he does. One loaded in the backpack. We'll see who gets the first one. Oh, he's gonna give it to Storm for the refund. This is a nice trick that I talk about sometimes. So Storm got the Aghanims from Roche, and then he gets gifted a consumed Aghanims by Alchemist. So he's gonna get the money back from the Aghanims that he didn't even buy.
So all of a sudden he has Aghanims and finishes off the Kaya Sanj and Lincoln Sphere potentially just bought up in one fell swoop.
Yep,
Yeah, look at that.
He's getting all of that. That is insane. He like
That curry is
doubled his
huge.
items. He's now top net worth because of this little shenanigan here. A very nice way to manipulate the net worth of Alchemist and put it over towards your mid.
Oh, Alchemist looks like he's self-stunned. Trying to walk forwards toward New. Heart of Tarask working on Assault Cuirass. And Bristleback is getting tankier and he's definitely a challenge to contend with. With a Sunray behind him, they'll aim for the Phoenix. Malreen's on top of Pichu, trying to force a Supernova early, but it's just him having to BKB far too fast. While New, he's holding them back and actually looking to kill off this Alchemist. Dead the once, Amar is in, Supernova used, can they focus it down? There's the Shadow Fiend with the Requiem to fear and push them back, so Supernova will land and the Phoenix will return. Storm though back in with the 3-man Vortex and the 3-man Concoction. Skinner with Malreen in the back lines have just slain them all. Oh my god! A triple for Malreen. Yes, New has killed Amar, but I don't think he fucking cares.
Oh my god.
Got the grab on the Bristleback, and the Falcons give an ultra kill to this Storm, who just got handed 6 grand.
Oh my god, the payoff. You put a lot of gold into Malreen and look what he does. He just catches them beautifully there on the ramp as they were all congregating very close to each other. He just finds the moment to zip in. And the follow-up is there. Skeeter, the two of them just chain stunning people.
No buybacks either, eh?
No.
Shadow Fiend and Monkey King, 1400 and 3 minutes off, respectively.
Yeah, they know Monkey doesn't have buy, and that's all they need to know. If they can force Bristle to use a buyback here, that would also be very costly. Bristle wants to buy a full AC, but yeah, there's the buyback. I don't even think he's going to deter them. They're still going to take mid and bottom racks.
They can spit and snot all over them.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but they're ignoring you and just taking your racks. So now this buyback almost feels like it was for nothing, but if he didn't buy back, maybe they would just go straight for a tier 4, so I understand that he used it as well. Feels bad though, setting him back even further. There we can see the jump. Look at that beautiful catch.
He nearly had 4 as well. That Phoenix was almost in it. Absolute. Gorgeous stuff from Malreen. I see him over by the Ancients here. Han gets on top of the Storm, but Lincolns and the BKB are there to protect him. And now Amar is walking the pig. Static Link and the Yule Scepter catching out New with a Walrus Punch from Crit. Snowball going deeper here. And the Wukong's command offering no protection as they kill the Bristol. No buyback on him, and the Shadow Fiend's gone as well. 2 in the grave for quite some time. And GG called. An anticlimactic ending to this one as Azure put up a few fights, but it felt like Falcons again, just an inevitable team cruising to victory.
They're just so damn good. By the Razor, he could get caught under a tower by Cogs and take tons of damage. So that small camp is going to be very important to unblock.
Snaking gets a quick early ward down as the big smoke wraparound from Azure breaks vision onto Skitter, but and just take position up on top of the high ground for now. It looks like that's Falcons using this opportunity to go a little bit deeper into that southern jungle. High ground ward down there, which I feel is quite rare from the Dire team. But it's the move that you were just kind of considering, right? Block the camp,
Yeah.
have the high ground vision.
Yeah, putting the cliff wards, getting the control over the area.
Absolute.
I think Crit understands exactly the same thing, that you need to have control over this small camp as much as possible.
And then Malreen, a 1v1 Timber versus the Han, Queen of Pain. Gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, both of them have good lane wards, good scouting information for them. Planet looking to stun here to secure the bounty rune.
Malreen steps up.
A little bit late.
It's going to be 2 for 2. Amar and Crit get the southern ones. Azure have Han and New take the ones to the north. A small camp immediately dewarded by Pichu.
And Malreen got past the tango and passing there by Enchantress heading towards her lane. Goes back to the tango stacking days. Support, please. 2 tangos. I'm going mid.
Oh my god.
Please.
I mean, half of my net worth would disappear before the game even started as a support back then.
Yeah. Tangles, courier.
We've also
Find
got
me
to
a
buy
TP.
like 3 salves because your salve can go carry non-stop. Just keep funneling regen. Yeah, already the kind of difficulties in that mid lane is a melee versus quap. The dagger spam starts to get a little bit annoying. But the fun down bottom has already begun. Shards and cogs blocking the terrain and the paths. Shadow Fiend and Razor safe for now.
Yeah, it's a very nice thing to have a Clockwork next to you when you play against the Razor. You can always disjoint his chase, put down the cogs, and the static link won't be allowed to keep ticking. Razor not off to the good start that we saw him have last time.
And honestly, kind of a simple thing, but it feels like this is quite old tech as well. Crit getting the double sentries, you know, knowing that ward was getting dewarded, getting another one to re-ward the camp so it's permanently blocked. Making sure that Pichu now is behind and won't have access to that pull camp.
You gotta continuously supply yourself with more and more sentries on this lane.
It just quite often feels like once that first one's dewarded, you're like, right, sure, you can have the camp. I'll just body block it, you know?
Oh, nice catch, a double catch. The
So in the
Razors.
cogs, Razors and Blood Grenade, a lot of damage coming Amar's way. And with this battery assault going, the shards are trying to block the SF back, but Pichu doesn't quite have enough.
Yeah, fantastic start though for Azure Raid. This lane already proving why Clockwork and SF is such a strong combo in the current patch and why I call it probably the single strongest combination of carry support in the current patch.
Yeah, now Clockwork just steps up and forces the Razor away from the wave completely. And Crit's Tusk, it looks like he's going to have to start dragging and manipulating the wave to pull it back. And as is usual, as is tradition, you know, we look at mid, we look at one of the side lanes. A lot of action happening there. And up at top, it's Dragon Knight Enchantress farming away against a Dawnbreaker and a Lion.
Yeah, pretty durable heroes up top, not as easy to find kills here. I think bottom is the more volatile lane, but we'll see if Snaking can somehow surprise them a little bit if he gets a good creep later on. They're gonna go on Skeeter a bit.
A good bit of damage. Throw the spells at him.
Yeah, didn't commit the Hex and the Blood Grenade. They know he's too tanky to kill.
Timbersaw doing pretty well in this mid lane now, though. 17-4. Always kind of low HP, but it looks like he's happy so far.
The Dukes, he's like, I'm gonna deny the creep. I'm gonna deny it.
And then I'm going to push a lot of damage onto you, force your blink off to the creep wave.
Marine chasing pretty far for that. Does deny the banner creep as well. That's a good last hit to get.
Malrine doesn't even have like a fairy fire or anything. He's just doing this with branches, basically.
Yeah, get some new tangles set out, but this already hurting a lot. The level 2 Shadow Strike bringing him really low. Right now he wishes he had a support dying on the side lane so he could get a bottle refill, but he's gonna find himself making his way back to base. Fantastic for Han, dominating mid lane for now.
Yeah, complete freedom for the next 30 seconds or so. Snaking's Enchantress also made a bit of a wander through the jungle. Maybe thinking about guarding water runes, grabbing the bounty for sure, but gets back into the lane. Oh, Crit down here. Has managed to drag this wave back under the Dire Tier 1. We'll see what this Clock and SF do now to kind of capture back that lane equilibrium.
Looking for a big camp pull. SF gonna pull it, see if Crit can disjoint the pull. Not throwing the shards, so pull is gonna happen. And he does pull it back into the lane creeps. This is so dangerous now for Dire here. If they go down a little bit too far, Clockwork is ready to go behind them, looking for that angle. And try and go on him.
Yeah, they start onto Pichu. Tag team and the shards. The plasma field there. Crit. He's taking a lot of damage, but it's Amar with the first blood, and that Fairy Fire kept Crit alive. Now, Shadow Fiend sat at 300 HP. A little bit scared of what's next to come in this lane.
That's a big kill to get. Amar needed this. Needed to get some momentum for himself. And Crit staying alive as well is huge. Head back to base now, it seems. Clockwork coming back bottom again. And Queen of Pain not over-investing into the lane. Only 2 points Shadow Strike. Sometimes we see people keep investing to try and keep dominating, but lane won't last forever. Planet. Looking for the stun here from the side.
So philosophical, Waga.
What?
The lane won't last forever.
Hey, it won't.
I'm gonna blink away.
We mid players, we wish the lane would last forever.
That's true.
Yeah, I wish Dota was just a 1v1 game to be
You should have been playing StarCraft all this time.
True.
Or Street Fighter, or I don't know.
But who am I gonna blame for my own fuck-ups then?
That's true. Your coach, your analyst.
Actually, yeah, I've seen you can just blame the game. I've seen some Idra rage and stuff. There's always something to blame.
They were hallucinations, Idra. They weren't real.
You do realize.
I can't believe that happened to him twice as well. I didn't realize until Riz. I always knew the...
Disconnected before they even finished writing it.
Absolutely incredible. But yeah, it is quite interesting though, thinking about laning stage, that sometimes we have games where, like, I would say right now, 6 minutes in, this is kind of a normal time for lane stage to break down, because Wisdom Runes are coming, heroes like Enchantress and Tusk wanting to roam around, mid laners are, level 6 or approaching it, so they're ready to fight. But we've had laning phases last for like 10, 11, 12 minutes when both teams are kind of tentative and don't have heroes that move.
Yep, it all comes down to what ultis you have, basically. You can think like that. Some ultis really play well to go rotate, make ganks happen, and sometimes you have heroes that are just happy with status quo. And if both teams are, then you might have a very extended laning stage. This game, I don't think that's going to be the case. The moment we get level 6 on the Dawnbreaker, there will be moves happening across the map. And Queen, going back to base now, filling up mana, has the Sonic Wave available, so that could also be a possible move to a side lane.
20 seconds until the Brain Rune is here. Snaking and Malrine making their move.
And Mr. Warpine Raider.
Oh yeah, don't forget him from game 1. The Shadow Fiend is shaking in his boots.
Trauma.
But a PTSD from Mr. WP.
It's that Sonic Wave move to bottom lane.
Oh god. Amar zapped down by the Sonic Wave. Crit's gonna walk it back. But they did bottle up the Wisdom Rune and should be able to gather up their own one on the right hand side as well.
Yeah, so not that big of a loss in the end. Losing your offlaner but getting double Wisdom feels pretty good. And top lane, meanwhile, they're also pressuring pretty hard now. Knowing that Queen doesn't have ulti, this opens up a potential for Skeeter to deal some tower damage.
And snaking, are we going to die here? There's a lot of stuns coming your way, but these are nature's attendants.
Overprotective Wisps is right.
What? Like, he didn't even flinch with like Fairy Fire or Magic Stick or anything.
It's pretty absurd. Playing against Ench is really annoying.
And now Pichu's come up here, trying to set up on Skitter. The Falcons had this attempt on the tier 1 tower and did a good amount of damage to it. So nice move by the Clockwork to make sure that tower isn't dying. Yet, anyway.
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on SF, by the way. He's in the jungle. Dangerous place to be against the Enchantress. He's not gonna die to neutrals. Not off camera on my watch.
Do you think anyone's gonna like talk to him about it? I don't know if that's something that I would want. If that happened to me as a pro player, do I want counseling? Do I want to talk about it, or do I just want to
forget about it? You want to hide it, bury your shame. I wonder if he instinctively knew immediately that, oh, I died because of Enchantress, or if he just felt a little bit confused as to what happened, because not a lot of people think about that part of Enchantress.
No, I certainly didn't. Bottom. Immediately cut short as the shards missed. And now Clockwork, with the help of Planet, that long Earth Spike, set up Pichu here to turn back onto Amar. Well done by Azure Ray. It's been a pretty quiet game so far, only 3 kills. Might be the 4th one coming though, as Malrine's made his mark down in his bottom jungle, tying it up 2-2.
Yeah, Queen of Pain wants the rune as well. Gonna get it and blink away, but Snowball is chasing her.
10 seconds blink. Shards.
Yeah, she's fine. Too low mana anyway on the Timber to do that much.
There's just a tomato running across our screen, of course there is.
Just random creeps, Ench creeps going every which way. Finds herself the best creep, the Troll Summoner. Fantastic creep to take towers with, and she is level 6. Tying up the bottom tower now.
Rally, rally, rally. Clockwork might be running a little deep here. Snowball's quick from Tusk, goes across the planet's Lion. Static Link out of the Razor, draining quite a bit of damage, but this Requiem turnaround from New and Low, killing off Quitting Tusk, and Amara's being chased down as well, but he stayed alive. The Sonic Wave doesn't finish him off, and now it's Low in trouble, but a good Earth Spike. Maybe a bit of time for the Shadow Fiend? Nope, not enough. And Han, no mana for Blink. It's on cooldown too. It looks like Falcons are happy with what they've got so far.
And quick TP by Timbersaw towards that region rune. Has a ward, sees it. Just gonna go and get himself full resources after that fight. That was a fantastic fight for Falcons. They did lose Razor again, but getting some good trades. A lot of ultis expended on the side of Radiant as well, so I don't think they can defend the subsequent push coming in.
And playing up into the face of the Shadow Fiend as well, making sure that Low is having to fight. He's not farming and accelerating. A good spot to be as the Falcons.
Yeah, looked good there for a moment, but the Dragon Knight coming in so healthy, full HP. And Skeeter doing what we saw him do in the game where he struggled. He's going for the Blink Dagger. So even in this game where he's not really struggling, he wants to have that ability to join his team and take fights.
Yeah, I guess they don't have a tremendous amount of catch. You can't always rely on this Tusk to shard and snowball people up. Good to have this Blink stun from the Dragon Knight now.
It's also just down to playstyle. Like, Falcon really like taking fights. They do not enjoy just farming their way to victory. They want to kill their opponents. And this is really a statement, going for first item, Blink on carry Dragon Knight. But Skeeter is also that, you know, sort of sacrificial carry sometimes. He doesn't always just prioritize his farm the way some other carries will.
And it's like Falcons have different forms of warfare, right? It's not just the 1,000 men in the muddy field hitting each other with swords. They also like to come in and do like a coup d'etat or something, you know, kill the leader of an area, come into the top left corner of the map, take down one hero, and then you take their land away from them. Put your own shadow government in place. That's
what they're doing right now. They're about to install one here as the Dragon Knight pops the dragon form, looking for Dawnbreaker. She's the target.
Ah, Capitan knew. We knew you were here all along. The dictator shall fall and we'll put Skitter in your place.
Skitter
he's going to leave. He's immediately going on holiday after becoming the dictator of a portion
New Dragon Regent. His first declaration, I leave.
Yeah, I go on holiday. It's vacation time for me. Oh no, back into action. Han is here though to guard the clockwork. And Skitter, tanky as he may be, looking to run away from this. Well, Malrine. Does he get this kill? No, walk back away from Pichu, who hid very well in the trees. Azure guard their tier 1 tower with numbers.
Han is doing so much damage continuously here, but can't really find enough to get a kill on anyone. Those pesky little Eng creeps are bringing the tower lower. Almost all tier 1 towers off the field already for Azure as Falcons hold on to all their tier 1s.
And where's this smoke going? Quap, Lion, and Clock. And Queen of Pain shows mid, so it's just Lion and Clock now.
Well, the two of them both have ultis, so they could maybe bring down the Razor. It's possible. They have Dawnbreaker ulti as well, so definitely kills with that.
That's true.
He's just gonna lay it in immediately.
There's always that +1, isn't there? Right onto this Razor with the Solar Guardian and hammer him down with the Finger of Death.
That's a nice gank to find. Now they can open up top. Skeeter looking for a stun on mid lane. Tusk is nearby.
Queen of Pain. Oh my
just
god.
A little bit off
close.
timing.
The snowball wasn't quite fat enough. Doesn't catch up to Han. Timber chain forward. Now Malrine. Just showing himself there up in the enemy ancients area.
Oh, Skeeter's in.
He's jumped. The Queen of Pain just blinked forward under the vision of Skitter.
Yeah, he saw him blink, so he decides to call over Malrine and say, we kill you under tier 2 tower. And yeah, that's all. Dawnbreaker ulti is on cooldown, so there's no way to save that.
And then I'm always going to see planets up top. Oh, the TP out. Yeah, no Yules to cancel it. Well, Shadow Fiend. Low has to Requiem here just to buy himself a bit of time. Skitter, he's timed this to blink over the Requiem into the stun, and they've killed the Shadow Fiend off.
That's beautiful. He just hopped over the wave, the fear wave. No fear on this Dragon Knight. Charges in, gets the takedown. You got the Wisdom Rune on your SF belt. Was it worth it? Probably not.
The resistance is shut down immediately. You can't topple this Dragon Knight King anymore.
God, he's a Tyrant King, isn't he? Azure Ray is looking for whatever they can here.
Actually, like, where do these opportunities come from? Like, it felt like nothing was happening, and then the Queen of Pain blinks and then gets blink stunned and dies.
The DK
then,
blink. It's all coming back to that, isn't it? If it wasn't for
Shadow Fiend
Dragonite
here,
going
right?
for this item choice, they would have been much more passive. But Falcons, this is an active style carry.
And he's already well on the way to the Orchid.
Yeah. He's gonna go back and find himself the Wisdom Rune on the other side of the map. And back to farming. This is the thing as well. The fact that he has a blink means you have to be worried about him initiating. But if he just goes back and farms, you still have to be cautious that, oh, he might be nearby. Or it's just AFK farming. You never know.
It's like that threat of when Storm hits 6 and goes off the map to farm. He could be accelerating, but he could be ganking me. Azure going to try and make a move in towards mid for that tier 1. And they'd love a kill first, but it doesn't look like they're going to find anything.
And they're calling it that everyone is around mid, and that's completely correct. The smoke just wrapping around here. Still a tier 1 tower taken down though, so 2 tier 1s gone.
Low Shadow Fiend starting to pick up the pace though. Just behind that Dragonite in net worth.
Dawnbreaker again.
A Dawnbreaker.
They're protecting her this time. Can they save her?
They jump the Dragonite. Planet here. The stun and the hook shot not going to land properly. Crit though is snowballed deep into the middle of 4. So even with a few whiffs out of Azure Ray, they'll get a kill and protect New.
That's such a good, quick call to disengage by Team Falcons. Like, they fell for the trap, basically. They went on a Dawnbreaker. She did have protection nearby, but they disengaged so quickly, they only lose the Tusk in that situation. A lot of teams would have bled more kills there, but Falcons recognize that this is not worth it. Leave immediately. They are going to lose Roche to this, most likely, though. Let's see if they can maybe get over there. Racer is running.
Let's see if they can get there in time. They're starting to TP up to top tier 2 as well. And to the outpost. And moving across.
Oh no, the TP out by Han. That could be disastrous. He left them.
The shards. Crits in position. They see the clockwork move up, and Pichu is about to die. In comes Amar and Malrine. The Chakrams are flying in onto the Shadow Fiend. In comes the damage. Requiem's out, but it does very little apart from the fear to push them away. Do they have a stun to stop him? He TP's home. No way, but Roshan still goes the way of Falcons.
Han, why did you leave us, Han? You sold us out. He TP'd down bottom because of Enchantress again, pushing the side lanes with her little creeps, pestering and annoying. The tier 2 tower was under fire by a creep wave plus some creeps, and he decides to go down there to defend. Immediately, his entire team is just in shambles.
Yeah, but what can they do? They're very, very fortunate that Low gets away from here, honestly.
Yeah. It's the classic move, the SF ulti into TP out, and it was very, very close, like you mentioned. Back in the game, Planet's showing on the lane.
He's running forward with the clockwork onto the Tusk. And it feels like the past few moves here from Azure Ray have been very, very focused on just killing supports, because that's all the Falcons are really giving them.
Yeah, they're getting the Tusk. That's all they're getting. We still have 3 heroes that haven't died on the side of Dire.
Now clockwork. And he's down.
Enchantress, DK, and Timber are all unkillable in this game, at least so far. Same can't be said for Amar. His Razor has had a little bit of a tougher game here.
But yeah, I was going to praise Falcons and their communication from that attempted go in the top lane, right? Where Crit went in, he died, everyone else disengaged. That's where you know there's, some code word or some shorthand for it's a trap or run or everyone back. Or Crit's like, just let me die, And then the flip side is that Roshan fight where the comms from Azure Ray, something went wrong there.
Yeah, I think they didn't expect Falcons to react as quickly as they did. They didn't have vision on people running over there, and Queen wanted to TP down bottom to not make it obvious that they're roshing, perhaps. Like, oh, if we don't defend bottom, we're gonna take a bunch of damage there, lose out on farm, and the enemy will obviously see that we're roshing. The Falcons already knew. They knew this way ahead of time.
Now your base is getting pushed. Tier 2 mid and bottom. Both going down pretty quickly.
Yeah. The Blink Orchid. Instead of Mage Slayer in this game on Dragonites, going for the Orchid. Allowing him to really threaten the Queen of Pain here. She doesn't have a Dispel, doesn't have a way to stay safe against Silence.
They've made a jump into the base.
Had a high ground ward. Clockwork just standing around. The easy kill.
They get to hit tier 3 for free. Knock knock.
And there's nobody home.
Bing bong.
No, just a glyph, but next creep wave is coming in just a few seconds. They do not want to fight into... Awkward timing here. Mew is 300 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter on the Dawnbreaker. I think they really want that before they fight, but how long can you wait?
Well, Dawnbreaker gets to see the whole map for a couple of seconds. It's like, yes, Falcons are all in your base.
They're indeed in our base. Yep. It's the worst timing to get the full vision.
Yeah. Well, there goes an entire lane. 20 minutes pretty much on the dot. Falcons with this Aegis.
Timber saw as well, so he can play very forward. They have the BKB completed on the Razor, and Dragonite, of course, with that Orchid previously mentioned. Just running and hunting with his 2 supports. It's actually Asher Ray. They're smoking out now, trying to make a move. SF fixing bottom lane to not make this smoke too obvious.
They've still got a very fearsome arsenal. Like, with this bit of vision on Amar, a hook shot, a sonic wave, a finger of death, they've got tons of stuff to dump into a target. It's just that follow-through fight when Falcons react is the worrying part.
Yeah.
Especially now. Falcons take this left side of the map, steal Tormentor.
They
Grab
don't
the
have
wisdom.
Blink on Lion, though. They have Ether Lens, so he has good range, but he cannot blink in and initiate, which can be problematic against that BKB on Razor. You really need to land a hook shot into a follow-up stun afterwards. Yeah, Tormentor being taken here. The butterflies on that piggy.
Oh, man.
I like that she didn't even use the Sproink.
Or the
That was not
Lotus.
even-
Or
Not even
anything.
close enough to force it out.
No, not even any panic whatsoever. Skitter might be
Either.
panicking, though. That's a lot of damage from a double damage Queen of Pain.
DD Queen and also that Aghanim Scepter Dawnbreaker just continuously laying in damage during the stun. An important takedown for it out, but no cores reacting to this, so can't be able to punish the Tusk too much. Still Planet doing a good job saving his friend.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Power Rune spawning. It's gonna be a shield rune for the Queen of Pain, along with the plate mill that she has. Feeling a bit tanky. Actually, it's a full Shivas now. Just got delivered.
Very nice.
This could be a big timing to fight around. You have your ultis off cooldown again on Radiant. Missing only the support, the Lion ulti. Rune Machine.
You may have won the battle, but we're going to win the war.
It has that feeling. You used inevitability as a word to describe them between
Yeah.
the games. And I agree. It still feels like Falcons are just building this lead. Getting to a part where they have all the items they want. And Asher Ray, they need to hit the gas to the floor right now.
It's like I'm looking at like 4K lead isn't that meaningful 25 minutes in. Kill score, not that meaningful. We're looking at, item progression, the net worth board on the left, it's all pretty tight there. The big gap really is still just this Enchantress over the support counterparts is massive. And jump on the Queen of Pain, chain stuns, and the silence. Have they got her all locked in place? Oh, that Solar Guardian right on time to save Han.
Very good way to save your teammate. And of course the shield rune coming in to keep him alive. They're still pursuing. Maybe they can get the Dawnbreaker instead.
Yeah, maybe they can. Another flurry of stuns here, but a turnaround with a zaps. Falcons, though, after the BKBs expire, in full retreat mode. Malreen's going to make his way to the low ground, and it's Azure Ray who are kind of holding their line and turning and saying, what's next? What more have you got?
Azure Ray did hold, but they committed News buyback, and he didn't have ulti. That's a costly buyback to make as Dawnbreaker. That's one of the important heroes to keep building your net worth on. Now gonna, again, solidify himself at the bottom of the core farm. If he had ulti, I can understand the buyback, but running over there gave a lot of time for Falcons to just...
They've got to save the SF as well, because he's turned to fight the crit Tusk. In comes New to land down on him. Planet dying to the Razor in the back, though, and so is Pichu. Amar has cracked them wide open in the back, and the Shadow Fiend's left stranded. They all tried to run away because Amar in the backlines caused absolute havoc. And now the Queen of Pain's come in to try and save New. Slanced up, Sonic Wave to push them back and blink away with a TP home. Will survive, and it looks like Amar is barely still alive.
Almost thought the Falcons were gonna kill him there. You know, the type of team that would deny their to SF here in this fight. He has Daedalus, tons of damage, but he gets stunned once, halberded, and then cannot really move for a while. And then in the end, he finally feels like he can go for a channel, gets stunned up again, and just dies to Timbersaw.
And then kited, yeah.
So,
congrats, he got to hit crit once and got a kill, but then got to do nothing else.
you know, that's the type of fight where afterwards you queue up the BKB, and that's what we saw as well. The BKB is in the quick buy. Mr. SF kind of wishes that he had Crystallis and a BKB over the Daedalus. That's the risk you run when you go for the glass cannon build. If people do go on you like that, then you can get controlled very easily.
It's just utter perfection again from Falcons, though, right? Yeah. And it's I don't want to say it's easy, but it's definitely easier when there's one person pressing the buttons on one target, right? It's like, my job is to chain stun this guy. I'm going to do it. When it's a combination,
Again, they came top here to fight for this Roche. Attempt was aborted by Falcons.
Snaking, again, tanking some damage. Running away, scouting out Azure with a little recon Enchantress. They hex up the Timbersaw, but they've lost the Clockwork. Dawnbreaker ulti's coming in, saving the Lion for now, lets him get off one more stun and a few bits of damage, but Skitter and Mallory are so tanky. They're not being dealt with. Lowe's Shadow Fiend has just fallen, and the Falcons, they're all alive. Azure
Hating this fight.
It's Spinal Tap, turn it up to 11. That's a reference that no one's gonna, absolutely no one's gonna get.
Roche is gonna move in 5 seconds here, but he doesn't have time. They kill him quite easily. Or do they? Timber's out of mana, but yeah, he dies before he moves. The lane ward they had during the start of that fight gave them vision on Clockwork, so Clock got picked off, and then the fight's pretty compromised. Again, Dawnbreaker ulti is nice for protecting the SF, but they just wait. Now they have Aegis in hand on Dragon Knight.
Yeah, look at Malrine. I mean, look at Snaking as well. But Malrine is 10-0-10 out of 22 kills. What was that, like 95% participation?
That's 2 that he missed, so almost, yeah, close to it.
Monstrous. Monstrous Malrine.
He has a haste rune ready as well, along with his Blink Dagger and Aghanim Scepter. He's ready to dive into the enemy base. I think he's angling for it here from the side. Without SF, there's no contest. I think you just gotta give up Mega Creeps at this point. It's not a good feeling. Dragon Knight doesn't even have Dragon form, but doesn't need it if SF dies like that. What do? You just watch.
Look at that. There's one impetus hit and Hannah's like, well, shit. I can't step up there. Planet and New, throw some spells. Is it Rocket Flares maybe, Pichu?
Oh, the creep waves. The creep waves are 2-4. The backdoor protection sets in. And it didn't deal with the top creep wave, so we might actually see SF respawn in time to defend.
Okay.
Maybe. They're going to go immediately. Malrine is going to push. But it will be at least like 7 more seconds or something before the backdoor protection is gone. SF might be able to defend one of the racks. Probably not both.
A glimmer of hope for Azure.
You know what's sad though? Respawning on SF and immediately having to fight. You don't have your Necromastery. You don't have your damage yet. Your ulti, lackluster. Right clicks, lackluster. This hero doesn't fight very well on an immediate respawn.
Yeah, and he doesn't have BKB either.
Also, Queen is 15 gold away from having Aghanim Scepter. I would say sell bottle, just get this Aghanim Scepter. Oh wait, did I look at someone else? The gold just changed.
It might be the pause bug where it's the last hero you clicked.
Oh, it was a pause bug, I guess. Yeah. I didn't know about that. Ah, I see. I had the SF's gold on the Queen portrait.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, he does sell his bottle and his Null Talisman and gets the Aghanim Scepter complete. And back to protection. Gone. There. 7 seconds.
And with tier 3. Enchantress trying to finish it off. Dragon Knight will help out. It doesn't look like the Shadow Fiend respawning has really halted Falcons whatsoever. Mahan having to blink away from impetus shots. It's really an indication of where they stand. The full step of Okay. Okay. Hook shot in from Pichu, but what a great move. Falcons with the aggressive 4-staff, snowball punch down, take out the SF, Clockwork follows, and Azure absolutely screwed over here.
Give it to Crit. Crit with a blink in, 4-staff play there on his Tusk. Just catches SF standing way too close. And we're back to the same. We're back to square one. SF dead, we can't defend.
I mean, Low has had a nightmare of a series.
He really has.
Whether his fault or the state of the game itself, it has been a challenge for him in these 2 games. And the way we're looking at it now, Azure Ray all but done in the group stage.
Yeah, GG gets called by Planet. To hell with you, as the follow.
Yeah, so that's Azure Ray. I mean, they're still technically in the